الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول
Well, guys, how's it going today? Just touching base, getting you started. I just got done making salah today. We're going to try to get this out for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. As you see, I'm at the mosque now. Beautiful, beautiful building. This mosque is a mosque that has been very near and dear to me for a while. So I'm gonna sit here and talk to you for a little bit about Islam and a little bit about me. But we're going to answer some of your questions. It is getting dark, it is getting late. I just made my salah for breaking fast. If you were fasting, I'm not fasting today, although Ramadan is coming up. Ramadan's coming very soon. So let me get the truck turned around a little bit so I can roll down one of the windows and maybe get a little more light. So you guys saw the mosque in the background, and I'm still here at the mosque. So mosques are very much like Catholic churches or Christian churches. The doors are always open. You can always come to pray. You can always come to make what we call as dua. Dua is extra prayers, extra motions towards Allah to just face the days. Anyways, this community that I'm a part of, and I hope that, and I'm sure they will, even though no matter what I say, because who gives a fuck what I say, right? I hope that you guys don't bash it or harass them. We'll keep the name blurred out. But this community right here, this Islamic community, is one of a very large community in Central Florida. And this community does many things for the Islamic community, as well as the local community. But one of the things that this community has done, and I've actually been a part of, is this mosque here, no matter what or where you come from, or what kind of financial background you come from, just like any mosque or any Catholic church or Christian church should. But unfortunately, life is what it is. This mosque here, the principal group of this mosque and the community that I'm a part of, they provide 100% free to families of Islamic faith. When they pass away, they provide 100% free burial services. In fact, the group, the organization, or the imam and the people that are part of the the elders or the people that are in charge of the mosque and the community, they have actually created, built, and have been in for about 8 years, 8 or 10 years, 8 to 10 years, a cemetery that's absolutely built on donations, and provide services for the said Islamic families that need it for free. And in fact, that's where my son is buried. This community here has been a very strong supporter of not only my company and myself, but as well as the Islamic community in Central Florida. Enough about that. I don't want too much information about them getting out and then you guys doing dumb things. This I'm going to talk about because a lot of you are asking. Quite honestly, I really shouldn't talk too much about it. However, maybe it will explain more. So, I have been Muslim going on almost 17 years. I started doing research on Islamic studies and studying the Islamic religion when I was in Lebanon and spending time in Lebanon for certain things. I was a part of something there for some time, and while I was there, I was a young man and I started asking questions. And what really started asking the questions and the studies and the looking into things was, and it was funny because somebody posted that on one of the other channels that I do watch for Salat and for Azan calls, and they said I'm not Muslim, but the Azan, when I hear it, it stirs my heart and it makes me feel things that I don't really understand. I feel like there's something there, and I actually responded to that comment, and I had said, if your heart is stirring when you hear the Azan, which is the call to prayer, it's the song that everyone knows. Every Hollywood movie that has ever wanted to make Muslims look bad, or what few good movies about Islam are out there, it's always the song you always hear. The call to prayer is one of the most important things in the Islamic religion for us to know. It is literally, that is what the Azan means. It's the call to prayer. You're being called to prayer. And because it's 5 times a day, the Azan is called the 5 times throughout the cities, villages, towns, wherever they are, throughout the loudspeakers. And in the Middle East, when the Azan is called, shops, schools, businesses, they close their doors, and those that are going to Salat or prayer, they leave their businesses, stores, on, and go and make Salat. Today is different. Today's modern. Businesses don't all shut their doors, but somebody such as myself, a small business owner, would shut his doors to go and make Salat. Obviously, people that have franchise McDonald's or Starbucks in Egypt or any other Muslim country, they have 2 staffs. One staff would go make Salat, and then the other ones would come and relieve them, kind of like lunch break, and they would go make their Salat. Anyways, the reason why I became Muslim, one of the things that pulled me to Islam was the Azan. When you hear the Azan being called, you feel it. And when you feel it in your heart, you know that's where you belong. And I would feel it in my heart when I was overseas. A few of you have asked questions, where have you been in overseas? I've been to almost every Middle Eastern country you can list. Lebanon, Dubai, Morocco, Egypt. I was in Tunisia. The big old I, the big old A. We've all been there. You can talk all the shit you want. I have the pictures. I have the proof. I have the passport with the stamps. But you can say whatever you want. Talk all the shit you want. It doesn't bother me. You know, somebody else posted, don't let the trolls get you down. You know the truth in your heart. And at the end of the day, when I go to bed, I know where I've been. And I know where you haven't been. Living in your little small town or wherever you live, while you're constantly getting online and, as somebody calls it, being a keyboard warrior. Anyways, so I studied Islam for a little bit in Lebanon. Loved it. Thought it was going to be something that I was really following. And then things changed in my life, and I was lost for a little bit. It wasn't until I met my current wife while I was in Egypt that I knew that Islam was the right way, because not only did she start talking to me about it, but she provided me my first Quran again, and I started reading again and finding my way. And I won't lie to you, I'm not going to bullshit anyone. I became Muslim for my wife. I became Muslim because I knew in my heart it was the right thing to do, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. My wife was the extra gift, I guess, on top. Anyhow, so Islam is a religion that's based on peace and love, and it's a way of life. It's not just a religion. And contrary to what everyone believes, or what you do believe, or what you don't believe, we can sit and have long debates about religion. Wars have been fought, wars have been lost, people have died, people have fought about religion. I can sit here and talk about how the Christian Crusades went through and massacred millions of Muslims during the Crusades. That's literally what the Crusades were. It was the crusade to execute anyone that didn't believe in Christ. What's funny is while they were executing Muslims during the Crusades, and there's more to it, so people that are Bible thumpers and religious persons or Quran readers, I'm an idiot, I'm a nobody, so I only go off of the things that I know. But during the Christian Crusades, they were executing people that didn't believe in Christ. The funny thing is Muslims do believe in Christ. We believe in Christ. We believe in the prophets. We believe in everything. However, we just believe that Allah is the one that you worship. Allah is the one you pray to. Prophet Muhammad is a prophet. Jesus was a prophet. The other prophets were prophets in our Quran, in the same stories as the other books, the Torah and the Bible, that were sent down. But this is a Sunday school lesson or a Friday school lesson, depending on what religion you believe in. I found Islam And one of the things that really drew it to me was I was Catholic before, and I would go to church, and I would say my prayers, and I would do my Hail Marys, and I would get my blood of Christ. And then, before the day was out, the same people that I was just making prayer next to were already doing the same things that they were asking for forgiveness from. And one of the things that I learned about Islam, and if you look into it, Islam isn't just a religion. It's a way of life. Not only is it a way of life, it's a way of how you do your daily routine, how you are with other people. Some of you might have noticed that I don't bash other companies or other people. I don't talk down or ill of other people. Fiddler's a little bit of a different situation. But in Islam, it's not right to backbite or talk bad about other people or to gossip. One of the other things that in Islam is it's haram, which is wrong, to drink alcohol or eat pork. That would be the only thing that was really hard for me when I became Muslim, was getting away from the pork. What? Some baby back ribs from Chili's? Or how about, listen, y'all can talk shit all you want, but you go down to some of these neighborhoods, or a brother out there, he got his barbecue grill, and he's got those smokers. That pork is so good, it's ridiculous. And that is one of the major things that I miss greatly about not being Muslim. There we go, and there will be light. But I've had one drink my whole life, and I don't believe in drugs. In fact, when I even got hurt, somebody tried to give me morphine, and I refused. Of course, the time that I was in a coma and I blacked out, they did whatever they had to do, save my life. But so I've been Muslim for almost 17 years. We're supposed to pray 5 times a day. I won't lie, I miss that on a daily basis. I'm not the best. No one ever is. But Allah is the most merciful and most understanding. And, some of you are talking shit and comments. And first off, where you ever heard it was against Islam to celebrate your birthday? I don't know where you read that. It's not against the religion to celebrate your birthday. So celebrating my birthday with my family, especially my loved ones, without alcohol is 100% okay as far as Islam is concerned. Now, the Christmas issue that some of you were bringing up, my wife and I, we have never really celebrated Christmas as a religious holiday. This is America. And anyone that wants to lie to themselves or tell BS stories, not everybody celebrates Christmas in this country as a religious holiday. Of course your Christians do, and of course your Catholics do, and so on and so forth. Sorry about that. Business call at 7 o'clock at night. After 5, the dispatchers don't answer the phone anymore. Normally I don't either, but they send the calls to me, and I try not to answer. Anyhow, so as far as Christmas goes, my wife and I haven't celebrated Christmas in 17 years. the way this country does. Um, when you sit down and you're honest with yourself, um, and this could hurt my viewers, this could hurt whatever. I don't really know. I don't know why you guys are asking these questions, and I don't mind answering them. But at the same time, obviously a lot of you don't believe or agree with the things I do or say anyhow. So why you're asking, but yeah, so Christmas, my wife and I, and of course this year, we celebrated with our daughter as not a religious holiday, but as a more of a um, New Year holiday. We celebrate New Year's as more of a Christmas style holiday. Of course, we put the tree up, we do the lights, we do gift exchange only within our household. Um, we don't exchange gifts with grandma and grandpa and things of that nature, and uncles and things. Um, we keep it within our home, and we do gifts for each other. Um, I mean, who doesn't get great after Christmas deals and Black Friday and on and on and on and on. But this country, love it to death. But that's the great thing about this country is you can choose how you celebrate your holidays or time with your family, or how you want to do it with your family. And we already have a holiday in Islam. It's the Eid, and it's after Ramadan. Once Ramadan ends, right before Ramadan ends, you exchange gifts. You give each other brand new clothes, and you celebrate the Eid in your new outfit that you buy for each other, and you celebrate the holidays. Eat new foods, things of that nature, because you've been fasting all month for 30 days. And of course, Ramadan is 10 days sooner every year. So some years it's cool. Some years it's extremely hot and you can't have any water. I can assure you there's been many, many months or Ramadans that I've done funeral escorts on a motorcycle, running between my legs in the middle of the heat of summer, where I can't even drink water. And who knows who will comment, not comment, but even my guys would say to me, you're going to pass out. What are you doing? What are you, crazy? Medically, that's what doctors say, is it's crazy. But religiously, Allah, it brings you that closer to Allah. And that's part of Ramadan. That fasting that you must do is part of your acceptance of Islam. I'm not going to go into details about how the Prophet Muhammad, while being attacked, going back and forth through the deserts for 30 days and nights, they were fasting, and that's where that comes from. But I was Catholic, like I said, and I just felt empty. And one of the things about Islam is I feel whole inside. And when I hear the azan, especially when it's sang or called, it's not really sang, but it's called. When it's called the right way. In some of these areas, I've heard it called in Dubai, I've heard it called in Saudi, I've heard it called in Egypt, and I've heard it called in Lebanon, and on and on and on. And I can't tell you. There are some brothers out there that can call the azan that will bring tears to your eyes, even if you're not Muslim. And that was one of the things I said to that one gentleman that was asking questions. You know, if your heart's moving to the sound of the azan, you don't have to do it today. You don't have to do it tomorrow. But maybe you should take the time to look into Islam, maybe just one day. Because if your heart's stirring when you're hearing the azan being called, that might be Allah trying to open your eyes and your heart to Islam. I know that's pretty deep for this channel from Mr. Get the fuck out of my funeral. But for those scumbags and losers and violating my rules here that talk about, somebody said, I don't know, I wouldn't mind so much, and I probably wouldn't even be vlogging to you guys. I wouldn't mind so much if you guys had your fucking information right and accurate. It's amazing to read and to hear the shit that you guys come up with. I'm cursing again. I'm sorry, bud. I know you told me. I hear you. It's these fucking trolls. Are you guys fucking kidding me? I became Muslim in jail? I don't even know how to respond to that. So one of the things I'm going to do tonight, before the day is out, I'm going to get you my documents from overseas that show I became Muslim while I was actually in the Middle East. I took my Shahada while I was overseas. I mean, most of you morons, especially the trolls that are watching, you're too fucking stupid to be able to read Arabic. But those that have education that are watching this channel, maybe you know how to read Arabic, or maybe you know somebody that does. But I could assure you the keyboard warriors ain't got a fucking clue. But I'll be happy to show you the document, and for those that want to waste their time doing the research so they can talk shit, by all means, I hope you do. But with that said, my family is Muslim, and my daughter will be the most beautiful little Islamic princess that I've ever seen. This community has supported us and defended us and buried my son. So much so that people talk crap about Muslims and all that stuff, and it's just ridiculous. At the end of the day, you have a few that made extreme mistakes against this country, and God knows they should pay for it, and they did. And if not, they will. And those brothers and sisters that are out overseas now, continue doing what you're doing. Those that are using the Quran as a tool or a shield for what they do wrong, that's not acceptable. Please deal with them the way that you deal with what you need to deal with. Islam is about peace. It is not about fighting. It is not about killing. It is not about terrorism. For those uneducated, for those that have never left their town or their home or wherever you are that you want to tell the stories that you tell, I can assure you that if you even had the opportunity to go overseas, you would see that it's not what Hollywood makes you believe. In fact, if you actually know real soldiers, talk to them. Real soldiers will tell you that other than in combat dealing with certain things, most Muslims are the best people they'll ever meet, especially Arabs. Not everyone that's a Muslim is an Arab, just in case you guys didn't know that. Actually, Islam is one of the largest religions in the world, just in case you didn't know that. You can Google it, just like you Google all the other shit you do. But Islam is a very peaceful religion, very loving. And when my son died, this community embraced my family like I've never seen before, even though I'm white as can be. I'm whiter than the whitest of the white people in the United States. And the brothers were there. And they were actually, because they wanted to show their support and their love for me, digging the hole themselves. Brothers that I just stood next to in the mosque and made salat, and then made the Janazah Prayer. Janazah means funeral prayer. We just made the prayer together, and they literally at the cemetery were digging the hole for me, for my son.